We're now in part three of Desert. We're now in part three of Sandel's discussion of roles. Here we're going to discuss the moral arbitrariness approach to the difference principle, as opposed to veil of ignorance and original position approach previously. We're also going to discuss feudal aristocracy, libertarian free market, fair meritocratic free market, and liberal egalitarian societies. There's a second argument for economic justice as the difference principle, of which we have already seen glimpses. It works by refutation of the argument that a person deserves and thus should keep whatever income they're able to earn on the market according to market prices. In other words, the target here is the libertarian argument for justice, and the contingency-based criticism is employed to destroy that target. The reason why a person does not deserve income based on their labor is that there's plenty in that labor that is not produced by the person in question and is available to that person simply by luck. Luck is morally arbitrary. One does not bear responsibility for it. It is not one's own doing. Here we are talking about the luck of the natural abilities with which one is born, the luck of social advantages, access to education, networking with relevant other persons, etc., available to one as a result of being born into a certain social setting. And the luck of that other person's just happen to value on the market what a person can offer. To the extent that all of those things are based on luck, the distribution of the advantages based on them is morally arbitrary and is not deserved. Rawlsianism asks us to consider four social systems with different types of distributive justice, arguing that the first three reproduce the problem of moral arbitrariness of distribution of resources, while the fourth one corrects it to the greatest possible extent. First of all, feudal aristocracy contains the most moral arbitrariness. Wealth and power belong to the nobility by birth, and that is fixed by laws. Libertarian free market society has formal equal opportunity. There are no laws that prevent social mobility here, and there may even be laws against discrimination. Though libertarians do argue that discrimination on one's own private property is okay. Wealth and power belong to anyone who sells their products with success on the market, regardless of their gender, race, caste, or class membership. Wealth and power here are subject to all those accidents, however, that we have gone through before. Accidents of birth, social setting, and market demand. Next social system is the meritocratic free market, and this society has fair equal opportunity in that there's free market, but there are institutions that strive to give everyone real equal opportunity by having all kinds of programs and institutions in place to give access to the same opportunities to everyone. The aim is to give everyone the same opportunity to develop talents, regardless of accidents of birth and social settings. There are childhood nutrition and healthcare programs, education and job training programs, and so on, for those who are lacking the means to start at the same place as everyone else in the race for success and wealth. But even in the meritocratic free market society, argues Rawls, not all of the accidents of birth, social setting, and especially market demand are ameliorated. Arbitrariness of talents at birth is also significantly present and decides things here. For the above reason, Rawls argues, we must press on to the difference principle of the liberal, egalitarian, regulated market society that arranges the economic market and other institutional structures to produce only those inequalities that make the worst off better than they would be under any alternative social economic arrangement, according to the difference principle.